next speaker on the list, the distinguished representative of Israel. Dear Ambassador, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Excellencies, on behalf of Israel's Foreign Minister, allow me to express my gratitude to the Polish chairmanship of the OSCE, to the North Macedonian chairmanship of the Mediterranean Partners Group, as well as our deep appreciation to the OSCE Secretariat and the External Relations Section for all the efforts they have made to maintain and even deepen the cooperation with the partner countries. I would also like to express my gratitude to our Polish hosts for hosting this important conference in the beautiful city of Łódź, which was once home to a flourishing Jewish community. We are also grateful for the many relevant high-level meetings and conferences organized by the OSCE, in which Israel is always glad to actively participate, to exchange best practices, to learn from others, and to share our expertise. Israeli experts have indeed participated in events dealing with cybersecurity, combating trafficking in human beings, border security, and other relevant topics, and we are always grateful for the opportunity to share expertise and also learn from the experience of others. Excellencies, the OSCE is currently facing probably the greatest challenge of all its history. The Russian attack on Ukraine is a serious violation of the international order. The government of Israel has condemned it and calls upon Russia to respect the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Ukraine. Israel remains concerned over the impact on civilians, including the significant number of civilian fatalities, mass displacement, and damage to critical civilian infrastructure. In an effort to meet some of the needs, Israel has provided tons of humanitarian and medical assistance to the people of Ukraine, such as basic food items, reusable family-sized water containers, water purification equipment, and mega generators for hospitals. We continue to provide medical and trauma-related support to Ukraine. The provision of Iranian military equipment, especially UAVs, to be used during the war in Ukraine is a dangerous and troubling development. This is accompanied by the presence of Iranian experts who train the Russian UAV operators. The UAVs present significant challenges for Ukraine as they hit civilian and critical infrastructure. Furthermore, this enables Iran to gain meaningful experience and expertise in the operations of the different systems. The relative success of the use of the different Iranian UAVs in the Ukrainian theater enhances Iran's appetite for the possible expansion of its sales to more markets, thus broadening the threat to Europe and beyond. It's important to note that the UAV sales increase the Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps' income and as such increases Iran's capacity to further finance its different proxies. We commend the sanctions already imposed on entities involved in Iran's UAV industry by the United States of America, the United Kingdom, and the European Union, and call for continuing pressure on Iran, both in the imposition of sanctions and condemnation of its actions on the bilateral and multilateral level, including the UN Security Council. Turning to our area, the Middle East, Israel's quest for cooperation and peace has been demonstrated by the State of Israel many times in its history, as proven by the peace with Egypt and Jordan, and more recently by the Abraham Accords and the establishment of full diplomatic ties with Morocco, with the United Arab Emirates, and with Bahrain, as well as by the Negev Summit, which brought together the foreign ministers of Egypt, Morocco, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, and Israel, as well as US Secretary of State Antony Blinken. The convening of the OSCE Med Partnership Conference in the MENA region in the Kingdom of Jordan last month, after 7 years, was a strong positive signal, and we express our gratitude to our Jordanian neighbors for their excellent hosting. Now, on a different note, we observe with grave concern the increasing levels of anti-Semitism and threats to the Jewish way of life across the world. Anti-Semitism is worryingly on the rise, both in scope and in the threat it poses to Jews and individuals, as well as to Jewish life. Contemporary anti-Semitism occurs in many forms, old and new, online hate speech, as well as hate crimes and attacks on Jewish people, their properties, institutions, desecration of cemeteries and memorials. In order to effectively face this challenge, we need to create a clear and common language. The IRA definition of anti-Semitism creates the common language and grounds. We call upon the OSCE to adopt the IRA definition of anti-Semitism as well as the definition of Holocaust denial and distortion. To finalize, Mr. Chair, let me reiterate our gratitude to the Polish chairmanship for organizing this important conference at a critical juncture for the OSCE, and send our best wishes to the government of North Macedonia as it assumes the chairmanship of the OSCE. We are ready for, and also hope for, a continued and close cooperation with the emerging new chair for the Mediterranean partners in 2023, no matter which country is chosen in the end. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now I would like to give the floor to the next speaker, the distinguished